Bill C-11. This is Justin Trudeau's doing, his gang, his posse, right? There's some good things in there, but we don't care. Let's just talk about the effort. All right. So the legislation apparently is a gateway to online censorship. It does this by giving the Canadian Radio, Television, and Telecommunication Commissions the power to regulate what they call user-generated content, pretty much what you're watching. This means that Canadians who post on places like YouTube, and TikTok would fall under government control. Now, as the report explains, no other democratic nation regulates user generated content through broadcasting rules in this manner. Canada would be unique among allies in doing so, and not in a good way. The government swears that they are not planning to use these powers to censor Canadian voices. But why have it on the books? Why include it at all? Why?
Right.
I mean,
You remember when we were speaking about the lockdown, and I said like the moves that the government is making is super similar to that of a lot of dictatorships, a lot of the places that we criticize. And I also said that, when they do this, they're trying to see how far they can take it. Let's see how far we can go with it. Now, I don't think I have to name the countries in the world, because it did say in the article that this is uncommon among the allies of Canada, which obviously that means first world countries.
yeah, democratic
Right.
nations. Yeah.
But if you know anything about the countries that employ control over their social media platforms and all that type of stuff,
North Korea.
it's just a precursor. It's a precursor to even more control, even more. There's never we're gonna start with this and it's not gonna go further. There's never that. History will teach us that if you give the government a little bit of rope, they're gonna take the whole length of that rope and turn it into something to hang you with.
Well, I mean, they said it in the article, and I think that it's Canada. You know what I mean? So, again, I'm not up on everything the Canadian government is doing to F us over, right? I tend to walk through my life somewhat blind in that sense. I'll be honest about that. So feel free to educate me. But what I think, based on the article, is they want to stifle anything that's, I guess, unpatriotic. So, for example, if you have a YouTube channel that's, F Justin Trudeau, and anything Trudeau puts out, maybe it's really big for him, somebody's
Right.
shutting it down and disparaging it with real facts, they could be like, no, thank you, that's gone. So, and that to me is an abuse of power, because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be a free press, free media. Everybody's allowed to speak their mind.
Freedom of expression.
Thank you. Right. So you should not. And I think that they're including this for that reason. If we ever get to a space where there's some really crazy stuff going on in Canada, and like the mainstream media is not covering it, which we know they won't. So you got to go to YouTube and social media to get the real news. They're going to have the ability to stifle that. Right now, they can't.
Well, imagine the convoy. Imagine this law or this bill was actually passed during the time of the convoy, when all the truckers went to Ottawa. Imagine what YouTube and social media would have been like with this bill in place. It would have been a lot less information about what was possibly actually going on the streets, and sometimes people want to know what's actually going on, not just what you tell us. Like, people, we already watch TV. We see all this. We see what you feed to us already. We get that. You have a space. If you want to feed us news, you guys have your outlets already. The reason why social media, I feel, is so popular, and also so poison, is because it gives people the belief that their opinion matters in everything. And when they want to give an opinion that's opposite of what's being given to us on a daily basis, they have the freedom to go out and express that. When you do something like this, obviously, they say right now it's not going to go any further. But I mean, and you know what? There's good parts to this bill. The good part to the bill is similar to how they did on radio stations. I don't know if a lot of people know this about radio stations, but radio stations are required to play a certain percentage of their music has to be Canadian. Okay, Canadian music. And same thing with TV channels. Certain portion has to be a little bit Canadian advertisements and or programming. So they're trying to do the same thing with social media. So YouTube, Spotify would have to advertise Canadian artists, Canadian performers more than they're doing right now. Great. I love that part. As this guy just said though, why you gotta add the second part, homie? Why?
It's unnecessary. What it is it's like, you know, like when you give somebody a hug, like a real warm embrace, you wrap your arms around them, right? So everything you just said, the good part, that's the warm embrace. But
Right.
what you don't see is the knife in the hand behind your, so you're getting the
I was
hug
just
and the
wondering what
stab.
weapon you were gonna use. I was just wondering what weapon you're gonna use.
I went with the knife, but you know, take your pick. So yeah, this is messy, and I can't wait to see when it passes, because it will.
Well, this it has to still has to go to the Senate. It's past the third reading,
It's
and
gonna
for all you
pass.
all you Jagmeet Singh fans out there, I know there's a lot of you based on the video that this guy dropped. There's tons of you out there. He was the one who approved it this time. He was one of the main people saying, "Yes, sir, Mr. Trudeau."
They just want to control the media, whether it's for the good or for the bad.
But
They want to be, they want to be
like
able
that's
to,
what's so crazy.
yeah, I know, but they control mainstream media. If I went down to that convoy that you talked about and I decided to go down there, just be down there 24/7 and stream the entire thing, they can't stop me from doing that. If the government was like, hey, CTV, global, whatever, don't show that shit. Say how bad it is only. Cool. I'll be the one guy out there showing what's really going on. They can't
Right.
stifle that. Now they can.
Now they can.
Right. All right. You in public, what are your thoughts? I know your thoughts. If you're watching this on YouTube, you should be right here with us. You should be feeling the exact same way
Worried.
we feel. Yeah, you should be concerned because you're on
Worried
YouTube.
because and this channel we be talking about whatever the hell we want to talk about.
Come on, man. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't be a part of the problem. All right, deuces.